Morning children. In previous video I explained about the slave dynasty and the most important rulers of slave dynasty like Qutbuddin Aibak, Iltutmish, Razia Sultana, Ghiyasuddin Balban. Now I'm going to explain about the Khalji dynasty. Okay. Now I'm going to explain about the Khalji dynasty. Khalji dynasty was established by Firoz Shah. Okay, Khalji dynasty was established by Firoz Shah, and this Khalji dynasty, the ruler of Khalji dynasty, ruled 1290 to 1320 CE. The Balban's grandson, okay, the Balban's grandson was killed or put to death or killed by his one of the officer who was the chief officer of Khalji tribe, and the name of that officer was Firoz Shah. Okay, and the Khaljis were Afghans origin. Khaljis were belonging to the Afghan, and so here now the historians say that the Khaljis were the Turkish tribe and long settled in Afghanistan. Okay, so from that word it is known as the Khalji dynasty. The first ruler of Khalji dynasty was Jalaluddin Khalji. Firoz Shah took name. Firoz Shah was the tribe official of the Khalji tribe. Firoz Shah was a officer of Khalji tribe, and after to kill Balban's grandson, he sat on throne, and he was 70 years old when he ascended the throne. When he sat on the throne, that time his age was 70 years. He was a benevolent ruler. Benevolent ruler means kind, friendly and helpful ruler. But his administration was criticized as being weak, as he was a kind, helpful and friendly, but his administration was criticized by others. And the most important event during this rule was the attack of the Mongols. Mongol attacked on his time, and which was repulsed. Repulsed means drive back. Repulsed means drive back by the Jalaluddin. And after that, and he was killed by his ambitious nephew. And this Jalaluddin Khalji also killed by his ambitious nephew Alauddin Khalji. Okay, so Jalaluddin Khalji was killed by Alauddin Khalji, and then who went on to succeeded him to the throne of Delhi. And after Jalaluddin Khalji, Alauddin Khalji sat on the throne of Delhi, and he ruled 1296 to 1316 CE. He ruled from 1296 to 1316 CE. And that time, one African traveler, Ibn Battuta, held that Alauddin Khalji deserved to be considered one of the best sultan. And Ibn Battuta, he was an African traveler, and he considered in his book, in his literature, that he was one of the best sultan of Delhi. And Alauddin Khalji's ambition was to conquer the world. like Alexander the Great, but he could not fulfill his wish. Okay, his ambition was to conquer the world like Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was a great ruler. He conquered most part of the world, but he could not fulfill his wish. And one of the first expedition that he took, expedition means victory, he undertook was Gujarat in 1297, and he annexed Gujarat, Malwa and Mewar and captured the fort of Ranthambore and Chittor. Then in Gujarat he secured the service of announced slave means slave, Malik Kafur. Malik Kafur also was one of the slave, and Malik Kafur went to become the general of Alauddin armies. Malik Kafur, he joined as a general of Alauddin armies, and he led the series of the successful raid, and again he attacked on the Deccan region, and he captured Devagiri in 1307, and he defeated the ruler of Varangal, Drashmudra and the Mysore, and he even went deep down the south and drained. And after that, the wealth of Madurai and Rameshwaram. Alauddin thus became the first ruler of Delhi Sultanate who extended his kingdom to the south of the river Narmada. Now, his administrative reforms. Alauddin Khalji was one of the able commander and excellent administrator. Okay, Alauddin Khalji was a able commander and excellent administrator, and he increased the size of the army to protect his empire. Means he gave appointment or to give chance to most of the people to take training, to took training of the army, and to meet the expenses of the maintaining this huge army, he had to find ways add to his revenue, because he increased the size of army to protect his empire and to collect or to meet the expenses of the maintaining this huge army. He had to find ways. Only he had one. He find the ways to add his revenue, and he confiscated all the rent-free land holding that had been given to the priest and the government officials. Means he refused or he cancelled the person who lived rent-free house land holdings and had given to the priest, sometimes to the priest and to the government officials the government or minister has given by the kings or the queens to live rent free. So he cancelled all the things, and the officials were forbidden to collect extra taxes from the peasants, and officials are collected extra tax from the farmers, and the farmers paid revenue in the kind directly to the state, and the land revenue was raised to half of the total produce. And to prevent conspiracy means secret planning to kill someone, conspiracy to secret planning. So to prevent conspiracy among the nobles, Alauddin banned all banquets. Banquets means banquet means the formal dinner, है ना. Banquets, all the banquets means to find the secret. Banquet means to find the secret from other countries. And the assemblies he banned. And he also enlarged the system of espionage. Espionage means formal dinner of a large number of people, and spread his spies across the empire. And then Alauddin transformed the market of Delhi. He also extended the market of Delhi, and he set and imported goods. He set up different market for the food grains, horses, cattle, and imported goods. And the weight and the balance of the merchant means businessman, they use weight मीन्स जिसमें से लोग सामान वेट करते हैं, एंड द बैलेंस जिसको हम हिंदी में तराजू बोलते हैं. मर्चेंट वर चेक्ड रेगुलरली. एंड अलाउद्दीन ऑल्सो मेड अरेंजमेंट टू स्टोर लार्ज क्वांटिटी ऑफ ग्रेन्स टू बी यूज्ड, है ना. एंड ही ऑल्सो मेड अरेंजमेंट टू स्टोर the surplus food grains. And Alauddin Khalji patronized many scholars. Patronize means to give permission to enter many scholars. Then Amir Khusro was one of the poet in Alauddin Khalji's court, and his poetry written in Persian to enjoy the people even today. And after Alauddin Khalji's death, his general Malik Kafur placed Alauddin's minor son on the throne. अलाउद्दीन खलजी की डेथ के बाद उसका जो जनरल था मलिक काफूर, उसने अलाउद्दीन का जो माइनर बेटा था, छोटा था, जो एडल्ट नहीं हुआ था, देन he sat on the throne and tried to rule in his name. और उस बेटे के नाम पे मालिक काफूर रूल करता था. But they were both put to death. They both means Malik Kafur as well as Alauddin's minor son. They both put to death means they both were died. And in 1320 CE, the last Khalji ruler Khusro Khan was killed by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. So Khusro Khan was the last Khalji rulers, and he was also killed by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, who founded the Tughlaq dynasty. Now here Tughlaq dynasty. The rulers of Tughlaqs, they ruled from 1320 to 1399 CE. The Tughlaqs ruled Delhi from 1320 to 1399 CE, and Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was the founder of this dynasty. Okay, and this dynasty was followed by his son Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and Muhammad bin Tughlaq was most of the famous ruler of this dynasty. Muhammad bin Tughlaq is known as the Indian history as a confused genius. Though the Muhammad bin Tughlaq was a most famous ruler, but he was a confused genius also. And some time to time we can see he was a capable administrator and commander, and he was a good scholar also. But he was a man who thought ahead of the time, means बिना सोचे समझे काम करना. So his plan and invention and intentions were good. His plans were good and intentions were good. But when these plans carried out thoughtlessly and in a hurry, मतलब बिना सोचे समझे और जल्दबाजी में वो अपने प्लान को एग्जीक्यूट करता था, and which was resulted in their failure. So to understand this better, we have to see the then he executes so many plans, but three major projects started by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So first plan was shifting of the capital. In 1327, Muhammad bin Tughlaq decided to shift his capital. Okay, in 1327, he decided to shift his capital from Delhi to Devagiri. Delhi to Devagiri, and another name of Devagiri is Daulatabad. Okay, and this Devagiri city is located 1400 kilometer from Delhi. 1400 kilometer from Delhi. On a paper or a preparing the plan, it was very easy. But when the project was executed, and this plan was failed because of two reasons. The shifting of the capital, this project was failed because of two reasons. The first reason was he ordered the entire population, not only the administrator or not only the official, only to shift. He ordered to entire population of Delhi to shift to Daulatabad. All the population, entire population, and this caused a great hardship to the people. Already you know, shifting from one place to another is a very great hard work. So this caused a great hardship to the people. And second reason is that from the northwestern frontier, from northwestern side of the empire, Mongols are ready to attack. Okay, from the northwestern frontiers of the empire, exposed to attack from the Mongols. So when he realized his mistake, Muhammad bin Tughlaq shifted again this capital back to Delhi, and once again causing a great hardship to the people. So because of these two reasons, the first reason, he ordered the entire population to Delhi, of Delhi to shift to Daulatabad, and this caused a great hardship to the people. And second, it left the northwestern frontier, northwestern border of the empire to expose the attack of the Mongols. Because of these two reasons, his plan or his project was failed. Next one is the taxation of Delhi. Muhammad bin Tughlaq needed money because he had a large army. So to manage, he needed money to carry out of his various plans and to maintain army. So he ordered to raise more money, and he increased the land tax in the frontier, fertile Ganga, Yamuna, Doab. Doab means where two between Doab means place between two rivers. So he increased the land tax and introduced the new ones, and he already increased the tax and introduced new taxes. The measure proved that to be ill-timed, as the Doab region was then passing through the great famine. That time in that region, the people were suffering a great famine, but the officials used to collect the taxes. Okay, the farmers faced untold misery. Already they are facing this famine, and the officers were collecting the taxes. The Sultan was forced to withdraw his order, and they forced the Sultan to withdraw his order. To make this amends, he established a new department of agriculture to improve the production. Next is the token currency. Muhammad bin Tughlaq issued token currency. Token currency means like a coins of brass and copper were stamped with a value equal to that of the silver and circulated. Okay, so he issued token currency. Token currency means like a coins of brass or copper. and the value of these coins were equal to the silver, and he circulated to all the peoples. But this experiment was ended to disaster. Disaster means a great calamities, natural calamities, since there was no proper control or check. There was no proper checking. As a result, there is a widespread fraud. Widespread fraud means here the people started minting. Minting means to make the coins at home, and hundreds of thousands of uh, counterfeit coins came to counterfeit means fraud coins came into circulation, and which was called chose in trade means black marketing and the commerce. And Muhammad bin Tughlaq had to finally withdraw this token currency and the offers to exchange all the token coins for the silver coins. So these are the some projects. Expedition to the northwest. Muhammad bin Tughlaq undertook expedition to China and Kwarchil in the Kumaon Garhwal region of the Himalayas, and it was another disaster. It was another disaster. The Ibn Battuta says that whether this Kwarchil expedition succeeded or not, it led to the death of all his soldiers excepting a few. Okay, all these schemes were basically sound but suffered from lack of proper planning. Okay, and they caused only suffering to the country and his subject. Now, administration. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was an excellent administrator. He conquered many parts of the region, and he opened many hospitals and almshouses, means where the people stay night, and gave generously to Muslim scholars. And Muhammad bin Tughlaq believed in the divine right and theory of this kingship, and hence kept absolute power. Next is the breaking up of the and how this Tughlaq dynasty came to end. The breaking of this Tughlaq empire of Malabar in 1334 CE was the beginning of the decline, and the Rajput recaptured Ranthambore and Chittor and established a powerful new state in Rajasthan, and Warangal, Karnataka, Gujarat, Sindh, Awadh and Bengal, all these are captured by Rajputs. In trying to suppose this revolt, the army marched. The army marched from one end to India to other. A new kingdom was formed in the south, that of Vijayanagara, and Muhammad bin Tughlaq died in 1351 CE while trying to put down the revolt in Sindh. And Muhammad bin Tughlaq was succeeded by his cousin Firoz Shah Tughlaq, and Firoz Shah did not have capabilities like Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and he was a prolific builder, and he was known today more of the outstanding mosque and forts he built than for his conquest. The sources of income. We know about the Muhammad bin Tughlaq from many accounts, both by the Indian historian and by the foreign travelers. One was the Ziauddin Barani, and he was the Indian historian, and he who spent 17 years in the court of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and Barni gives a detail about Ghiyasuddin Barni. Administration under the Tughlaqs, and Tughlaqs carried on the on with the administrative structure and handed down to them from the Iltutmish, from the time of the Iltutmish. And Iltutmish had divided the whole empire into several large and small places that called the Iktas. And instead of paying the nobles, officers, and religious leaders of his empire a salary, he had given them Iktas. Iktas means power, given power to the small power of the small pieces of the land, and the officials or the Iktadars had to pay the king a portion of revenue. These Iktadars, they collect the revenue and they pay to the king and control from the land. They also had maintained a body of troop. Troop means group of armies. The stronger sultan, like Muhammad bin Tughlaq, repeatedly tried to break the power of the Iqtidars by the re-establishing the Iqtas, and finally became the base of the powerful fiefdoms. Now the land taxes. The tax charge on the land varied from ruler to ruler, means different rulers they collect the different taxes, and Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq reduced to steep land tax imposed by Alauddin Khalji, and Muhammad bin Tughlaq raised it again. Okay, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq ने जो टैक्स बढ़ाया था, गियासुद्दीन तुगलक ने उसे कम कर दिया, लेकिन मोहम्मद बिन तुगलक ने उसे फिर से बढ़ा दिया. एंड फिरोज शाह तुगलक रिड्यूस्ड इट अगेन, और फिरोज शाह ने उसे फिर से कम कर दिया. All the Tughlaq sultans, however, tried to improve the condition of the people. To improve the agriculture, irrigation canals were built, and the sultan opened hospitals and almshouses and encouraged scholars through the donations. Now, the role of the nobles. The Tughlaq sultans had an efficient system of espionage or the spying, with the help of which they were able to suppose any form of rebellion. They have a more group of the people, then they collect the secret information from the other countries. And the nobles, many of them were Turkish. Most of the rulers, nobles, they were Turkish and Afghan origin, and they were very powerful. The stronger sultan repeatedly tried to break the power of the nobles. Okay, some rulers were very strong, and they tried again and again to break the power of the nobles. And during the rule of weak sultans, or during the period of unrest, often emerged stronger than the sultan. Then invasion of Timur in 1398, during the rule of last major Tughlaq ruler, Muhammad Tughlaq of Delhi, was attacked by Timur. So Timur attacked in 1398. The Delhi Sultan was attacked by Timur, and Timur was a Central Asian Turk, and who had embraced Islam and set up a kingdom in Samarkand. As the Timur marched towards Delhi, he met with the little resistance. Okay, the Sultan's army was easily defeated by the Timur, and Timur entered Delhi, and the city was destroyed and left it ruins. So Timur was also ransacked Meerut and Jammu, and the Tughlaq Empire never recovered from his blow. Okay. Next is the Sayyid and the Lodhis. The rule of the Tughlaqs was followed by that of the Sayyid and the Lodhis, and their rule lasted for little more than the century, from 1414 to 1526. And Sikandar Lodhi was ruled from 1489 to 1517 CE, and he was the best known ruler of Lodhi dynasties. And under him, the Delhi Sultanate extended from present day Punjab to Bihar, and he was an able administrator and encouraged trade and commerce. And he shifted the capital of Sultanate from Delhi to Agra. Ibrahim Lodi, he also ruled from 1517 to 1526 CE, and he was the last Sultan of Delhi Sultanate, and he has been described as the arrogant man who treated the Afghans noble with a little respect. The noble revolted and invited Babur, okay, and the king of Kabul to help them overthrow. So these Delhi Sultan, they invited Babur. Babur was the king of Kabul to help them to overthrow Ibrahim Lodi. But Babur took advantage of this situation and he invaded India. He defeated and killed Ibrahim Lodi in the first battle of Panipat in 1526 CE. And the Afghan nobles who were hoping that Babur would hand back the empire to them and return to Kabul were disappointed. है ना. तो अफगान नोबल्स ने क्या सोचा कि बाबर हम लोगों को फिर से वापस हमारा राज्य दे देगा और काबुल वापस चला जाएगा. बट ही डिड नॉट डू this, and he stayed on and founded Mughal rule in Delhi. And here is given one table from which year to which year and which dynasty, which ruler ruled. Okay, now there is the glossary. You learn glossary. Mamluk, slave in Arabic. Lakhbaksh, giver of lakhs, title given to Qutubuddin Aibak. Mongols, a warrior tribe from Central Asia. Kofer, a chest for storing valuables. Espionage, the practice of spying. Mausoleum, a large tomb. And Doab, a land between two rivers. So you learn glossary and learn fill in the blanks, multiple choice question, glossary, and answer in brief. Learn only answer in brief. Thank you. Have a nice day.